I haven't had a shower cap for ages, and yeah, sure, she's got a fancy turban-y thing going on, but these ones over here, they're just your bog standard shower cap design. So, uh, mm, and there's that. But how good is it to not have wet hair? Especially if you're low on energy. And yeah, these ones you could get disposable, like the hotels, work really well. But yeah, environmentally, maybe we could just do a little bit better. And I need it today. The urgency is upon me. I'm over wet hair. Let's do it. Let me simulate what I'm going to do with my blue ball. Okay, that's going to be my head, just so you can see. And I'm going to get some very flexible paper, nothing stiff. And all I'm going to do is wrap it around my head. That's how I'm going to be making the pattern. Super, super easy. So you're going to need some kind of flexible paper. Might be tissue paper. You're also going to need some elastic. I'm using up my dregs, so I've got 2 short pieces and I'll be joining them together. The important thing is it's comfortable for you. So wrap it around your head. Not all elastic is the same. Make sure it's a comfortable sort of tightness and strength. The next thing, do we want the elastic on the outside so it's sacrificially wicking up that moisture, or shall we encase it and risk tracking the water up underneath? Well, I'm going to do it that way. I'll let you know how it goes later on. And the last thing is we need material. This is just from my stash. It was left over as a lining from a leather bag that I made. It's beautifully lightweight, very flexible nylon ripstop. It's slightly, but not completely waterproof. It's just what I've got in my stash. Let's make the pattern, such as it is. Now, we are not doing perfect sewing today. Do take time to put your hair up, especially if you've got a lot of hair, because that affects how a shower cap goes over your head. And it can be quite frustrating if you've got a lot of hair, so this is one way to get a perfectly fitting shower cap. And the next thing you're going to do is get that flexible paper and drape it over your head, sort of scrunch it down a little bit, and get yourself a texter and start tracing around the line right from the back that you can see there, all the way around the edge where you are going to put the elastic. So think about where that's sitting and just go all the way around your head. And this is going to make sure your hair, your head shape is catered for in this shower cap. I think we're almost done now. Get back to the edge or the start, and we're done. Easy. That's the pattern. Let's now smooth out that texture line and shape up the pattern a little bit more. So we're just tracing around all those markings that we've got. You might be surprised that you've got a bit of an egg-shaped head. Mine is certainly not a round head. I don't think I'd look very good bald. But anyway, I know I've got a bit of an egg head. That's fine. This cap will fit me very well because it's my shape. Fold it in half, and then you get to sort of choose which side you want to use. This keeps it slightly more symmetrical. So I'm choosing the more oblong side and the bigger side, and that will be my half, and I will just cut once. So cut your pattern out all the way around your circular or curved, egg-shaped, whatever shape head you have. Doubt that you have a square head. It will be curved. So just cut that out, and you will see that I'm also adding in some allowance there. That edge there is going to be turned under, and it will become the channel for my elastic. So add a little bit. There we go. That's our pattern. Let's have a look at that. You can see I'm quite oblong, and I've chosen to add a little bit more because one side had a bit more than the other. That's going to be fine. Look, this is not going to be perfect sewing. It's all okay. So what's happening next is we're going to turn under that allowance and stitch along there. And then we're going to feed in our elastic. It'll gather everything into a nice cap. Time to cut out the material. Nothing revolutionary here. I was a little worried the first time I used ripstop that it would be difficult to cut, but it's nothing to worry about at all. It cuts perfectly. Should say also, if you're enjoying the content, please do subscribe. And we're almost done and ready to take it to the sewing machine. All we need to do is sew that channel. First things first, let's change to the correct needle. I'm using a woven ripstop fabric, so I'm going to use a sharp universal needle, not my jersey needle or my ballpoint needle, which I had in before because I was sewing stretch before. So let's go ahead and change a needle. Don't be scared of changing a needle. All you need is the knob that unwinds to loosen the needle. Pull out the existing needle. It's as easy as that. Take out, of course, the thread, then get your new needle. And the new needle has a rounded side and a flat side. In my machine, the flat side goes up towards the back. So do get the flat side in the correct direction for your machine. Your manual will explain all of that. And once you've got it jammed all the way up, tighten the knob and rethread your needle. And we're done. Moving on to the sewing, all we're doing is making a channel for our elastic to run through. Now, because it's curved and I've got a chunky turn up, we actually are going to have to pleat it slightly because the outside circumference, when you're folding it in, it becomes a smaller circumference. So you're going to have some excess material that you just have to pleat out just like that. No big deal. And this happens when you're doing circles and you're hemming circles and you've used a very wide hem. So this is probably about 2.5 centimeters. I've turned it up. Didn't need that much, but I'm being quite generous. And the other thing I will recommend to you is that you finish your edges with a zigzag or with overlocker before you do the hem. I was simply lazy. So do that because they're going to fray. So just pleat all the way around. My egg shape, which is a more tighter curve, is going to require more little pleats. My broader curve, more gentle curve, less pleats. And that's just how it goes. If you were doing this on a circle skirt, I would never tell you to sew so imperfectly because that hem is really, really important in a circle skirt. In a shower cap, who cares? No one's going to see it, and you're not even going to feel it. So we do a different hem on a circle skirt. Don't do this one. This is imperfect, quick sewing for a practical purpose. So get around all the way around. And when you get back to the beginning, let's just zoom ahead a little bit. And circles never cease to surprise with just how much real estate they have when you're going around a circumference. It seems interminable when you're hemming anything circular. So just remember, it will take you a little while. Go gently, pleat neatly. It doesn't matter which way the pleat goes. Sometimes it just wants to fall one way, and another time it might want to fall up instead of down. That's okay. This is just your channel for your elastic, for your shower cap, and it's all going to make sense in just a little while. So we're almost there. Here we go. Back to the start, and I'm going to leave that little opening open because, of course, we'll back stitch to secure our line of stitching always. We need the opening to put the elastic in. Clean up your threads. I don't think I really want a wet thread hanging around on my neck. So clean up, and this is what we're looking like already. It's sort of forming some kind of a shower cappy look. It is certainly not a hem you'd want on a dress or a skirt, but watch what's happening as soon as we get the elastic in. It'll just draw up nicely into a shower cap. I doubt that you are going to have insufficient elastic, but remember I've just gotten the dregs and I have 2 pieces of elastic that I'm going to join together. So if you are salvaging something and joining it together, you will have to do this step. If you're not, you won't. Now my elastic is very thin, and I like thin elastic because it's so flexible and I really don't feel it, especially in a shower cap situation. I don't have very much space on my head. The problem with thin elastic is that I wanted to sew it end over end. My machine and the elastic have completely different ideas about what's going to happen. So while I am trying to sew around a little box shape here, well, imperfect sewing, this is the name of the lesson today. We are just going with what works. And it doesn't look great, but it's real secure, and that's what I need. And it's not going to interfere with my senses at all. I'm not going to feel this. I've worn it already for over 2 weeks and I don't feel this. So I'm going over now the zigzag back and forward to really nail that security. That's it. Now we get to inserting the elastic, which everyone's going to be doing. We find that little gap, and because I'm working with such a small, teeny tiny amount of elastic, because that's all I had, I'm going to put safety pins on both ends. I don't want the end of my elastic to suddenly jerk up into the channel and get lost. So that's why I've got the safety pins on both ends. And now it's just a matter of our usual insertion method, using the metal of the safety pin to gather the fabric across it and then pull it out across the elastic. It's not very time consuming. It's quite easy once you get the rhythm. And I'm already almost back to the beginning. So here we go. There is my elastic. And I'm just going to safety pin them together so nothing gets jerked up into the channel and lost. All right, let's undo that a little bit because that is not head shaped, but it will. We'll just let the elastic fall through into the channel a bit more. It can't disappear because I've already secured it. There we go. Make sure that he's sitting there because I'm going to need it in a minute when I adjust my tension. And that's what we're looking like at the moment. It looks like a shower cap. Okay, so you have to have gone over to a mirror, or, well, even if you don't want a mirror, that's fine. Stick it on your head and size your elastic, just so it's comfortable. Now I've sized my elastic and I have the barest, tiniest little bit that I can use to join it together. So I'm going to show you more imperfect sewing. I really wanted to get this sewn together. It's very difficult when you're dealing with such small real estate in elastic with a presser foot and feed dogs and narrow elastic. Very, very difficult. And while you're going to see what happens, I thought I might try a zigzag. That might just help with the narrowness, but no, didn't even catch one edge. So let's start again. Let's try again. It's still not working. Okay, so when we get to this problem, actually what we really need to do is we need to try and sew that by hand. Just baste it together, and that's going to hold it together sufficiently that we can use the machine. So just in and out with a sewing needle. And this is an encouragement for everyone watching. Even seasoned sewists will have disasters. We will have things that don't work. We will make messes. It's okay. This is the name of sewing. So I've basted that together now. It's going to hold it under my machine a lot better. And I am going to just sew that in a way that secures it and that it will be impossible for it to snap open unintentionally. So a bit of back and forth. Security is the name of the game, not beauty. As you can see, it ain't going anywhere. And then we just pull it through so it sits within that channel. We are done. I'm not even going to finish that gap. Okay, let's go try it on. So we're just smoothing out those gathers and fluffing it in a sort of more even way around our head so that it looks like a shower cap. And there we go. Let me turn around for you. You can see I gather my hair up quite bunchy like that, and it's sitting quite fine. I have a question of whether I'm going to wear it over my ears or behind my ears. We'll road test that in the shower. So here we go. I have worn it behind my ears and everything's working quite well. There is just one little bit because my shower nozzle sprays in a weird direction with one little spurt of water, and it hits the back of my head right there. So that one was getting continually soaked, and that is just a little bit wet. But what I noticed was I'm using about 10 seconds of heat with my blow dryer just to dry my skin around the neckline, around the hairline of the neck. And that is making my life a lot easier. And it's also, just a word to the healthy and wise, a way to prevent scaly and itchy skin. Keep it dry. And that's our shower cap. Let me know in the comments if you use one. Next week, we'll do another practical life necessity. So until then, enjoy your comfy life. See you next time. Oh, and you can click my face right now to subscribe.